My name's Nick Perata. The thing I like to do most when I'm not riding the steeps is jibbing. You're riding on everything that you see in your path. Logs, rocks, small children, anything.
Jibbing in a freaking neon jacket he had. It was just like, oh, we're just jibbing dreadlocks, just crazy frog skins or something. It seemed really innocent back in the Tahoe days.
That word jibbing started, Nick Perata said it. The whole jibbing thing was going on like in the late 80s. It was just like hitting little trees or rocks or whatever that was non-snow obstacles. It kind of translated into kids riding handrails in the street or just doing stuff in the street, small things, and then that escalated into bigger and bigger things. You know, like snow park technologies and Bear Mountain and other places started like building specific things for snowboarding. And now look at it, it's pretty crazy. You know, they're putting stair steps and kink rails and wall rides and stuff in the snow. It's pretty cool seeing how it came to be here.
I told you we were bringing it back on a 2011 scale.
You can't really compare it to the previous years. It's on such a different scale.
I mean, the last Jibfest was 8 years ago. And we set the bar so high with the original Nixon Jibfest that if we were going to bring it back 8 years later, it needed to be on a whole new level of awesomeness.
The best part of it is when all the snowboarders come up for the first time and they see it and they start to process it, and that's what it's all about. It's like going from small town to the big city.
Actually, Jeremy called it Awesome Town.
Awesome Town.
Welcome to Awesome Town.
Welcome to Awesome Town.
I mean, it's pretty on point, really.
Dudes are just stoked. They're stoked to be here. The kids are stoked to be here. They saw all this, you know, when they grew up. I mean, they've all just gotten bigger, and so this is the biggest. It's gonna be super fun.
Throughout the whole course of snowboarding, a common thread has always been skateboarding. Taking the influence of skateboarding, because everybody skates, taking that influence and bringing it to snowboarding.
If you're skateboarding and you're snowboarding, like, it's natural to combine it. Everyone who skateboards and then rides a snowboard, it just translates.
They just started trying to mimic skateboarding beyond just how you grabbed your board or riding a half pipe. These guys took mimicking skateboarding to all aspects of snowboarding.
We were trying to find handrails more than anything at that time. Like when we first all started, there was really nothing else to do, so we'd snowboard after the days. No one had a job hardly at all. You couldn't skate. There was no indoor skateboarding at all. So you just, you know, you'd find and if it was snowing enough, you'd just go find a handrail and slide on it. But then it was limited, of course, of what you can do with that. So it'd be picnic tables.
We'd always get pissed during the holiday seasons when everyone would come and they'd be eating on the picnic tables. I remember doing some lines where ROAN would like do tail slides across the thing while people were still eating and stuff.
We just went nuts on the handrail stuff for a couple years, and then, you know, I don't think we ever really thought of it as we were starting something or anything. We were more or less copying the skateboarders, you know what I mean? And trying to do what they were doing.
And it was just so much wanting to skateboard. Most people were almost more skateboarders than they were snowboarders. They were just wanting to do that as much as anything. So couldn't quite get that same feeling, but you were going for that always. You felt like it should be more like that.
There was a crew of dudes that were like jibbing stuff, and then it kind of faded away. Like, I don't remember the year, but it faded away for, you know, about 5 years, I'd say. And then, you know, really the truth is JP Walker and Jeremy Jones and their little crew from Utah were the first ones to really bring that whole jibbing thing back into the limelight of snowboarding.
I always watched those old videos with those guys jibbing, and that just seemed so cool. When I started snowboarding, that's what I started doing, so it wasn't like I was like trying to make some effort to bring it back. It was just like, I'm just gonna do what I like doing. I have fun doing it.
I had Hard, the Hungry, and the Homeless soundtrack in my Datsun B210 on tape that I recorded from the VCR through the TV onto a tape, you know, like that was my soundtrack, so I'd hear all the snowboard sounds and the slides down the rail, like driving to the mountain, and that was it, like burn the tape out, you know, because that was our scene.
None of us were ever really into contests at all, you know, but we'd been doing them, you know. There'd been all these different contests happening. We've been going to X Games and doing things, and someone said the word anti-contest. We need to come up with this anti-contest, and that wasn't so much like the direct motivation behind the thing, but it was just kind of like, let's have an event where only people we like are at this event. We'll only invite people from the media that we like. There won't be all these spectators that are just like creating like unwanted pressure and stuff. It kind of just started from there, and then I think just because we were so into jibbing at the time, it was like, well, it's gonna be a jib contest.
Just a couple things, you guys. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. You know, it's been 8 years since we brought everyone together for an event like this. The premise for me is just to say thanks to the people who have supported the brand since the beginning, and to invite some new people into the mix. I think one of the fun things for us is because as a brand, as we've grown up, my background being in a magazine, we've really worked hard with the different media groups to make it something that you guys can roll out of here and get some really good exposure out of it. Not only have a good time, but really, you know, reap the rewards of your hard work and your fun times. We try not to have a lot of rules to this. This is not a contest. It's just, it's a good time. You're right, Theme. There is a winner. You know. But you're the judges. At the end of the day, on the last day, we have a pad of paper, and I'm gonna sit down with you, and you're gonna write down who you think rode the best, your top 3 favorites, and the best trick. Someone that's gonna leave a lasting impression on you in the 3 days that we're here together. You know, part of it, just as much as it is all of us riding together up on the hill, it's the time that we spend together like this. At the end of the day, I just want you guys to be stoked on what's here for you, and I want you all to have a good time.
Did you see this?
Just like, let your season out, you know? Like, we all deal with this and that, and that's why this thing's so cool. It's just because we can go up and just shred.